Good evening, ladies, gentlemen, mental gen. This happened. As many of you know, well, as none of you know, I am actually, in fact, an O-game player. I've played O-game for the course of several years so far, and every single time I started playing the game, well, things like this happen. In case you can't really tell, this is a guy that started the game over 1 week prior to me, and me. Oh, that was Skype. I think you can actually see that. All too bad. So of course I'm in front of him, and this is what tends to happen whenever I start playing a game again. I just have an incredibly fast start, and I do incredibly well, and well, you get the idea. Now, moving forward, or onward, I should say, I do tend to do quite a bit of fun stuff. Also, I'm using multiple browsers. It's only recording one of them. Multiple browsers, multiple pages on my browser. And obviously, the reason for that is quite simple, so I can check whatever I'm attacking and do it quicker. So you can see the messages. I'm actually reading some of them right now. But it's easier when it's recording just one screen, so I can basically explain a few things to you. Now, if you know how all games start, you basically just have one of these planets with a set number of fields. Since a few patches in, you can actually abandon your home world, which used to have a very small number of fields and needed terraforming instantly. And I'm actually playing on a server that gives you plus 25 fields, which means my second planet, 11128, is a bit under field usage, well, not fields. So is my Acer one, because 25 extra fields means it should be 215 regularly for me to take it. But I changed that for the other two. It shouldn't be that big of a problem, only two planets, and I'm probably going to spend some money to buy some dark matter to get some more things. And I'm basically going to tell you how I did it. It's quite simple. First, I started with the tutorial. The first thing you do when you start a game is start the tutorial. Then you start doing whatever you can to it. Like, I got this as quickly as I could to get the extra resources to then go forward, and I didn't do this until I think day 3 or day 4. I took it very easy, very chill the first days. Usually the first days are the slowest, and then it backs up, and then it's very slow again. Remember, if you click solution hints, it actually tells you some things about the game which you might read. I'm not going to bother to. This is on ogame.us. We're playing on Ursa, or Arsa. Yeah. It's 2 times fleet speed, 4 times economy, 25 extra fields. It has ACS. In case you don't know what that is, it's a form of Alliance combat system for attacks, which you can converge to your more fleets together to attack a certain target. So yeah, again, you get a bit of metal and crystal. The most important thing right here is the sixth one, the trader. The moment you oh, actually, is it this one? Yeah. The information networks. You rename a planet, you create a body request, and you just join a random alliance and pop out, and suddenly you get 3.5k dark matter. When you start on this uni, you also get 8,000 just for validating your account. So instead of spending 3,500 dark matter on the second thing, which is enlist the merchant's help, you could just skip this thing as it only gives you one resource storage space. It's useless. I value 3,500 dark matter in another slot more than I value anything among those lines. for very obvious reasons. I mean, 3,500 dark matter, if you don't spend it now, and if you spend it when you're like rank 20, let's say, you're probably going to make 100 times the profit. It might be a bit exaggerated, but just remember that at the beginning you didn't have large storage containers either. Like mine are level 7, and I probably get level 8 in about a month or two more than this, if I keep building mines. And then we also have this at the end to dismantle a debris field and so on and so forth. Uh, I basically did a very fast start. As I told you, I did it slowly. I built my mines and everything over the Ogame fast start guide. Very easy thing. And then the first thing I actually did was to build as quickly as I could, go to start making some small cargoes and things like that. Because just a single attack with a small cargo, well, basically doubled my resource income, to say so. It's just so much more than what you're used to on low level 3 or mines. It's actually very good. With that, the first things I did, well, I got impulse drive level 5 as quickly as I could, because the moment it hits level 5, your small cargoes, yeah, their base speed switches to impulse drive, which doubles it. So instead of taking 1 hour to go from one planet in my system to another planet in my system, actually was taking 25 minutes, 30 minutes, which was very good. As you can see through here, my research is very erratic. After I got this to level 5, I basically did research on everything I could constantly, 100% of the time almost. And it's going to be like this in research 100% of the time for quite a period. I did dump a ton of resources in my defenses on my main 162.7. And the reason for this is I'm kind of getting ready for some moonshots. And there's a lot to talk about in this game. There are so many tactical decisions and stuff. It's quite the easy game when you look at it at first, and then you realize, well, you need to do this, you need to do that, and then it gets more complicated. A lot more complicated. So yeah. Uh, so besides getting this to level 5 and starting to attack with small cargoes, I started building the fleet slowly. And by slowly, I do mean slowly. If I click shipyard here, you can see I have 164 here. I have a couple hundred away, and it's going to be constantly building for 20 hours. Yeah. The only reason I got light fighters and heavy fighters was A, I just felt like it, and B, if I'm having my fleet seat, that was my accent just coming out. If I have my fleet sitting on my planet, and I will have a shit ton of rocket launchers, having let's say 111 of each type of attack ship will make it very hard for anybody in this unit to attack me. Not impossible, and it's not like very hard in the idea that, oh, they can't now. No, it just makes people of the same rank that are fleeters, or say, lose a lot if they go for me. And if they don't lose a lot, well, still, it's kind of hard for them to go for me. So usually they need to gather their fleets and sheeps and everything. So I see when I'm probed, and then I just pay attention for the next 2 to 3 hours. And if there's no attack coming, usually it means there's no attack coming because he's not interested. Uh, I do fleet save, of course. That's the first thing you need to do. In case you don't know what fleet saving is, you see the fleet here? Yeah, you basically take this fleet, all the stuff you can, and you send it to one of your planets via deployment. Let's say we are going away for 3 days. So we get our fleet, we go to 12126, we send it there at a slow enough speed so that it gets there in 3 days. plus some hours, so that when we get back, we actually have like 1 hour, 30 minutes, 20 minutes of time to always recall our deployment. The reason you would want to recall your deployment and your deployment to land before you get there is A, in case somebody uses the Lang sensor on the moon to see whatever you're sending on your planet and spots your fleet and attempts attacking, you should always be able to recall your fleet. And B, I completely forgot what B was. Come on, brain. Why do you always fleet save? Oh, besides not getting your fleet destroyed. Oh, earlier, okay. Also, if you have it land earlier by 1 hour or so, you can get some friends in your alliance for, say, basically help you. Well, yeah, basically help you ninja them. Send a fleet to defend your planet, which will destroy the enemy fleet. And it gets more complicated from there on. Let's say it sounds great in general. It's like, a fail-proof system to just have somebody help you like that. Up until the point you just, have this fleeter that's just pissed at you, and he, you send 200 destroyers to defend your planet, he sends 300 rips, and you're like, oh, come on, not again. And those happened on another uni, Barham. Here it shouldn't be as problematic. Yeah. Overall, all the planet names, Latin, something about uniqueness, extraordinary. Basically, all of these can be counted as synonyms. On some general level, let's just, Pampas. The next one will be Novus. And my name in this is the Prodigy. The Prodigy. Yeah, I'm such nice. Very well. So, also, and the main things you want to focus on Ogame are things like astrophysics. As you can see, not really interested in the research such as armor, shields, weapons, espionage. Well, espionage is the most important out of these at this level, but you get the idea. And I'm still just getting whatever I can as quickly as I can for any possible advantage. I'm probably going to gather enough resources to get two more levels of astrophysics. As you can see here, that's basically what I do in Ogame. I look at this and I see 614,000 deuterium. Well, the moment I'm going to gather this much, I'm going to have about 7 million metal, 3 to 4 million crystal, and I'm going to use some of the crystal, have most of my metal, use all of my DUT, like I did prior to this, and I'm going to get another level in 20 something hours. But I could also come here, get 2 more astrophysics levels, get myself an extra planet on level 8, get myself an extra planet on level 9, if I'm not mistaken, that should be the thing, get myself to 6 planets total, do this in under 10 hours. Well, 10 hours, you get the idea. You get this, you get the other one, and it's going to be 10 hours something, 11 hours, maybe 12 hours, up to 14 hours. So still a lot faster than computer level 12. And with 2 more planets, well, you get to build more stuff and you get higher in the ranking system faster. Which is generally the idea here. My main goal is to get 6 planets, get my research lab to level 13 on all of them, and then I'm going to start the intergalactic research network leveling, which will consist of me doing this 6 times in a row. Well, maybe 5 times. Last time I stopped at 5, which means the first build will be this, the second build will be for 80,000 metal, 800,000 crystal, 320,000 deuterium, and this is much more manageable. And with the extra metal, I'm just going to dump it on my planets and get myself 1,000 rocket launchers as quickly as I can, whilst my research labs are building. The reason I want to do them, all at once is because if I have one thing on the research, it actually does not allow me to upgrade my research lab on any of my planets, which is incredibly annoying. So keeping that in mind, I need to make the most out of it, meaning I'm just going to gather enough resources, which will be very significant for all those research labs, and then do them all in one day. Well, you get that general idea. It's going to take me more than one day, but still. Other than this, let's look at this uni. It's rather new. So as you can see, we already managed to get the rank higher. The top one player only has 1,242,430 points, which makes him at 1.25 billion resources spent. Not much. Economy wise, we have a miner here, so his basically Punisher is also basically a miner. How do I know that? Well, his fleet points are rather low. There are more than diamonds, sis. But the idea here is, the difference is small. It's probably 2 or 3 mine levels overall at maximum that separates those two players, which is really not that much. And research, well, yeah. My goal in game is to be my game plan is basically to be a very aggressive type of oh, somebody has the name Nightwish. Nice. A very, very aggressive type of hybrid. My game tactic is quite simple. Start game, play game. I'm just joking. Well, I start the game, I play through it, I get my research done as quickly as I can, I start mining, and I'm going to start fleeting when I'm probably going to reach something like level 15 impulse, no, hyperspace drive. It's a bit more expensive than level 17 impulse drive, but it's more helpful for the recyclers. So that's going to be something you're going to notice from me. I'm just going to have like level 10 combustion drive, level 10 hyperspace, and then suddenly level 17 impulse, then I'm going to level 15 the hyperspace. Then I'm probably just going to ignore the combustion because it has no use whatsoever. This is going to be leveled the moment I get a few more planets and I start fleet saving. I'm also going to have one planet in my solar system. It's slot 11 or 12. Then I'm going to have another planet, one system forward or one system backwards. The reason for that sort of setup is quite simple. A, you have a good place to keep your fleet, giving yourself 3 fleet save routes, and B, the fleet save routes basically cover most of the day very, very well, especially after you get reps, which is amazing because you get to, well, you don't get to deploy your ships like I have to do. Sometimes I even went to sleep leaving like 5 million metal on this planet. Like, I couldn't clock my shipyard with useless rocket launchers. It'd probably take me 10 days at the very least to build something like this back then. So I just let them on the planet. I did get attacked for it. They kinda attacked my planet. I had 9 rocket launchers as defense and nothing else. There were 5 million metal on the planet. I didn't care. I was like, metal, fuck it. Basic idea behind the game, you know. Sometimes it's worth losing some just to not have to bother as much. And it wasn't completely a loss, as I did get to keep more than half of it, as you know, it was kind of hard for him to attack me as I, moved some cruiser from the other planet. I had another one at the system right back up, which kind of stopped him. Well, I told him I'm going to spend the resources if he was going to attack me continuously or just send more attacks, and he stopped. It's actually the same guy I passed, as you can see here. This guy at that point, which I passed in rank. As you can see, nothing much. I did get the resources just by fleeting, and as you can see, you do get a ton of resources as out of fleeting, which is just amazing. Now, I don't really know how interested the general communities could be of games like Ogame. But I have been really thinking about making some tactical videos for this game. I've seen many players not know how to play this game. I've seen a rank 309. Let me just instantly check that. 301. So this guy, rank 309, yeah? He thinks he's a fleeter. He thinks he has. Oh my. He has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 planets in the same fucking system. And if you're wondering why that is bad, well, he also has only one moon. He apparently shows activity on all of his planets. And the reason this is a bad idea, well, I have this planet next to his, so I can attack him from 160 to 10. Now I can literally take this rank 309 on at this my current rank and start attacking him right now. And I can also attack him from 1 to 126. And if he starts trying to attack me back, well, he has to attack 2 planets, which are virtually empty, as I have basically no amount of resource income from this nor this, as my fleet didn't get here yet. And basically because of this, they literally can't do anything to, damage me, let's say. He can't do anything to, well, break out of, let's say, 6 daily attacks at the very least, or 6 attacks for every planet he has. That is why you spread your planets 50 systems apart, and you have only one system in which you have 2 planets, maybe 3 planets. And it should be only one and always only one system where you do that for cheaper fleet saving when you are online. And you should always fleet save via deployment to one of the other planets, when you're going for more longer periods of time. And that's basically safety from being attacked, because if your alliance goes at a war, it's going to be very hard for them to constantly deal damage to you just by attacking. B, if let's say your planets are 50 systems apart, you can just gather the resources and one planet on that system, on that galaxy, in the middle of them all. All the transports will be, well, quick, so on and so forth. They actually transport resources via deployment. It is twice the cost in the Ethereum. It holds twice the slots occupied for half the amount of time. So yeah, that's how I usually do it. Uh, Basically, most of these planets just get upgrades as I can bring them to them. Not really bothering with them. Like you can see, one of the planets after a certain level suddenly has, 22 level metal mine, 2 level 20, level 20 crystal mine and level 20 deuterium mine incoming, so on and so forth. And this is basically because I've been raiding from here. I'm going to move my fleet to 12128 eventually, then so on, then so on. And the reason I keep Syntac here is, well, I need the rest of the cargo space. I keep burping. And then I'm just going to move them around, start farming from there, and basically build up the planet similarly to this one. Only that those three are going to actually be a lot faster than my first one. Because I'm going to have a ton of resources and enough cargo space to just, send like 1 million of each to each planet with enough cargoes just to raid around. So if you actually check my stats on the page, I usually go at around 1.2k points daily now. This is going to be very low from what I'll be able to pull out in just a week, just by leveling all the 6 planets at the same time. So yeah, there are lots of things to talk about Ogame, especially after redesign. I just, I'm not sure what to approach first. The amazing thing that plasma actually gives you extra mining speeds will mean, well, that everybody's going to be researching the plasma. It might be a bit expensive, but just a bit. I mean, this level 10, yeah, it does double with each level, and it might be a bit of time consumption. But if you get this to level 10, it's basically like having 10% extra of metal and crystal permanently, which is amazing. And at higher levels, well, even at this level, I will get. Let's see. Well, I think another 1865 metal per hour, so on and so forth. Just it's quite good. It's basically something noticeable. It's going to clock faster, it's going to go faster, so on and so forth. Anywho, my attacks started arriving, so let's deal with that. Overall, I think one of the most interesting things about Ogame is the fact that its economy is working very good. Uh, from low level to high level, you get to build your stuff in a very nice manner, and you always seem to have something to do. Um, yeah. If you guys are interested in Ogame, how to play it, tactical stuff, me recording some ACSs, some attacks, so on and so forth, some ninjas, just tell me. Uh, in rest, I'm going to be thinking about how I could give you guys the general tips of the game in a very short game beginner's guide, and then I'm going to make an advanced guide, then I'm going to make an experienced guide, and then I'm going to make an expert guide. And yes, I do know to play this game enough to do that. Even though it might not seem from the mine levels and such. In my defense, I've been playing for about 5 days now, and the first 3 were spent basically just sitting AFK and not bothering to do anything. Anyhow, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and just let me know in the comments if you're interested in something like this. I'd really like to make it. I'm probably going to make it anyway, who knows. So I'm going to see you guys in the next episode. Tally ho! That sounded so gay.